Hello and welcome back to Chaos in Calradia, and indeed look at what we've got here. Oh yeah, we've got Mr. Dirthart. He's attempting to take Hussenfolk, and I'm very much hoping that he's going to be successful, and I'm going to be traveling down here. Now, the main problem that I have is that I have to travel, I think, back to my capital city to be able to, well, deploy any war declarations and things like that. So that's going to be the issue here, you see. That means that what I'm going to have to do, ideally, is purchase some ships. Now, I don't really want to do that, if I'm honest. I would prefer to stay away from going on the ocean waves, especially considering I have such a large amount of troops. So I'm going to try it, and we'll see what happens, because obviously we do have a significant amount of cash. We should be able to make it work very, very easily. Let's see if he's actually able to do something there. I mean, he literally has over 4,000 people. He should be absolutely fine, right? It should be a no-brainer, but, well, you know how it is. Sometimes, well, sometimes these things don't necessarily go to plan. Anyway, let's see what they have available here. Okay, they do have this. This is, okay, this is kind of, what? Cannot buy ships when your fleet is far away? What fleet? Do I have a fleet? I think I have a fleet of some kind. I can't remember what I actually have, to be honest. So, let's just take a quick look. Okay, yeah, so we have a Dromon. Yes, so we have a Dromon. Okay, yeah, so I will buy one of these. And we'll buy one of these. And, let's see, is there anything else? Yes, there we go, another Dramakian. Very nice. I'm spending 340,000 so far. Is this enough? Almost. It's almost enough, but not quite. Almost, but no cigar, right? All right, so yeah, we'll just do that. Why not? We'll just do that. We are going to be able to get back to Poros relatively quickly this way. Shipmaster skill is obviously going to be leveling up quite well too, despite the fact that I don't have the mod that makes Shipmaster skill level up much nicer, because, I mean, let's face it, it's still, it's very, very slow. Let's just say that. It's very, very slow. Even now, the developers of Bannerlord have been attempting to try and make Shipmaster skill so much better to level up, but still not quite there in the base game. So, yeah, generally downloading a mod to help with that would be useful. And there you go. Look at that. He's taken it. Nice. Okay, I'm very, very pleased about that. That's great. So now what we can do is we're going to go and we're going to declare war once again. Now the question is, I have to be a little bit strategic here, right? I have to be a little bit strategic because Dirthart is there, right? Dirthart is right there. So what I have to do is I have to decide where we want to go. Shall we go over here and attempt to attack some Khuzait? Or shall we go and consolidate the Azarai? Because the problem is, Dirthart's going to have to run all the way down there. You know what? Let's do it. Let's go all the way down there. The question is, who do we want to declare war against? Banu, Abbas, Habab, Samal. Okay, so let's have a look-see. Abbas, there we go. Habab, and Samal. There we go. All right, perfect. This is great. This is absolutely fantastic. So, yeah, we are going to be getting such a... I mean, look, we're just absolutely doing crazy things here. Yeah, so technically, I don't even need loyalty anymore. So what we're going to do is we're going to increase the hearths of bound villages per day by +1. That's going to be the thing that we'll do now. We are going to end up losing... I mean, we're losing a lot of militia every so often, but that doesn't really matter, to be honest. Our loyalty is also completely fine. So we're going to go over here, set sail, and then we're going to make our way down to... probably Qasira, to be honest. I'm probably going to try to... capture that. I would like to go to Iakis myself. Let's just hope that Dirthart actually makes his way down here. I'm hopeful that he's just going to... He's traveling over to somewhere else. He's traveling to this village for some unknown reason. He's moving at 1.3 speed, by the way. 1.3 speed. Not really very good for him, I gotta say. Not really going to be super amazing, but yeah, oh well. Okay, so let's have a look-see here. Okay, 15 skill points? Ooh, okay, wait a minute. I think that might be a little bit better than I remember. Maybe they've improved the, I don't know, the child child increases or something like that. But yeah, 15 skill points is very nice. I think it used to be 5, right? Didn't it used to be 5? I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong about that. Anyway, so we're going to have a bit of a problem here, because obviously there's going to be... Oh, never mind. There are a significant amount of vassals in here, but they all have 0 people. Alright, that's great. That's actually perfect for us. Okay, so I'm just going to disembark real fast here as well. And let's just take a quick look and actually see... Oh, okay, so he's disbanded. Oh no, he's disbanded his army. What an idiot. Okay, well, unfortunate for us. Okay, let's see. Well, I guess I'm going to just call for every single one of these guys then. Just call for all of the people with around 200. Because everyone else is going to ignore us, I believe. There we go. Oh, wow. Some of these guys are going to take 5 days to get here. That's going to be crazy. But that's okay, because I need a sliver of the amount of people that we have currently, because we're going to need loads more, right? We're going to need loads more to prevent any kind of sally out. That's what we want. We do not want them to sally out. Otherwise, we're going to be having a pretty big issue. Now, I can only hope that most of our people are hopefully going to get on a boat. Yes, like this guy, for example. Yeah, there we go, there we go. Loads of them coming in right now. This is absolutely perfect. Unfortunately, Qasira is getting massive amounts of vassals. So, I'm not sure... You know what? I'm going to go to Hubyar instead. Oh, no. Apparently, one of them actually left. Okay, yeah, that's perfect. The biggest one just left, so this is great. Now I can literally just go straight on in here. I was going to go to Hubyar because I was just like, oh, well, I might as well just leave and go somewhere else, because they were going to make it kind of difficult for us. So this is going to be a lot easier for us. Okay, let's do it. Alright, so I've given myself the greatest possible chance to achieve victory here, and indeed, I'm actually gonna go in for the auto-resolve. I know, probably not the best idea, but yeah, we're gonna do it. As you can see, we ended up losing 454, which is not too bad, I'm gonna say, not too bad. Gonna let her go, and we're gonna let all the prisoners go. I don't really mind about, you know, losing out on some roguery skill or whatever, because what we're going to do now is we're going to very quickly head on over to Hubyar. Oh no, Attalon! Attalon is dead! Oh no, he died! Oh dear. Okay, well, there you go. That's actually pretty insane, because he's been with us since the start. How did he die? He must have died in... the battle, right? Yeah, he must have died in the battle. There's Bertilde's party right there. So yeah, he has been eliminated. Very sad, actually, to have someone that has been with us since the start, you know, succumb to battle wounds, I guess you could call them. But yeah, we are going to be making our way over to Hubyar here, because this is currently being taken by... This guy is kind of having a bit of a seizure by the looks of things. I'm not entirely sure what he's even doing, but... he's doing something. Declaring war on the Battanians. It's actually hilarious. I have said yes to attacking the Battanians about 3 times, but obviously, as I said, you know, it is still a work in progress, so, you know, there are going to be a couple of minor bugs here and there. Anyway, Hubyar awaits. Let's hope that we've got 388 wounded, which I think is pretty fine. I could also go over to Yakis and literally take that almost instantly. I think I'd probably be able to take that very, very quickly, but I'm gonna err on the side of caution here a little bit. I'm also... wow, all these guys have 500... yeah, it's pretty terrible, isn't it? Okay, yeah, let's add that guy to our party there. What about that guy? No. Yes, let's get that guy. Okay, yeah, I'm just trying to add more people, basically. I'm just trying to assimilate them into the collective as much as we possibly can. And hopefully that's going to help us. I mean, obviously we've got Arion over there, and we've got... who? Oh, Urgion? Did he literally get himself killed by some random vassal? That would be hilarious. Yeah, it looks like he did. Okay, kind of interesting. Not entirely sure why he'd do that, but okay. And we've got 3,200. Should have enough to be able to auto-resolve against this as well, because there's 1,300. Ideally, what I want to try to do here is just monopolize. I just want to monopolize absolutely everything in the area and just make it so that we are gaining additional clans. I want huge amounts of clans to join us here, and there are a significant amount of them in this area. I mean, the one problem I'm kind of seeing right now is that potentially these vassals that are inside Hubyar right now they may in fact be a little bit inactive or a little passive maybe, and that may in fact give us a bit of an issue, as in maybe they're not going to be roaming around, maybe they're not going to be attacking anything because they're not attacking us, so maybe there's some kind of issue there. But I can only hope that because we're a relatively strong faction, maybe they're going to be taking advantage of that, and maybe we're going to be getting something from it. Who knows? Yes. Yes, I can't dismiss this person from my army because they, well, because we're in a siege. I don't actually know why that is a thing. Being unable to access your army's menu when you're in a siege. I mean, I can obviously go in here, but I can't spam anyone while I'm in the army menu. It's kind of a bit weird. Anyway, we will be bombarding these guys. The walls are basically basically already down. Wow, that was fast. Yeah, so what we'll do is I'm just going to go in. Boom. Just go in straight away right there. We lost 330. That is much better than the previous one. So that's nice. We are personally not losing anything, by the way. We're really not losing anything. It is mostly our vassals. And indeed, I don't have to worry about them. You know, I don't have to worry about them. All that we're going to really do here is... there's the Arlos. Look at that. Oh, no! Oh, okay, we had a crash. That is very unlikely. That is extremely unlikely because I haven't had a crash so far in this mod. That is so sad. Oh, wow. Okay, so we're back after the crash. Thankfully, there was an autosave literally right there after the, conquering of Hubyar. So, as you can see, we have another army very, very close to us here. Osric is here. And this is actually hilarious because look at what we've got going on here. This is a literal capital. I'm not entirely sure how this is a capital, but it is. So I will be, I will be attacking this, of course. I will be attacking this, and we will see what we can do against 121 troops. I will immediately go in. And there you go. I'm not even going to bother, dealing with the walls or anything like that. Any of that tomfoolery is not for us. That is for those beneath us, of course, because we are just absolutely slaughtering everything. Okay, so Iakis is not where we're going. We will not be going to Iakis at all. That is basically a pointless endeavor. We will be instead going to Askar, and we will see if I can maybe capture that. The thing is, we may have to go in manually for this because it's a tier 5. A tier 5... Tier 5 town is going to be a lot more difficult to deal with. Let's just actually see what Osric is going to do. I'm kind of hoping... I really wish there was a way that we could talk to that guy and basically say, hey, I'm going to go and attack, this town, that town, whichever town we're talking about. And would you like to come along with me? It would be fantastic if we could kind of coordinate. And maybe he could come over and assist us. But he is indeed attacking Iakis, which I think is pretty good. Don't get me wrong. I think it's a good idea for him to do that. And I think he's actually doing a good job in pursuing that course of action. However, it would be so much better and so much more efficient if he would literally just come over with me. But I'm very slow at the moment, obviously, as we can clearly tell. I mean, I have such an insane amount of people in our army, 2,700 people. I might... you know what? Let's see if I can get some more, shall we? Let's see if I can get some more people. Let's get this guy. There we go. Okay, that's it. That's all I can get. Because these other fellows, the ones with... What I found is that the ones with 500 and the ones with over 300 don't really come to where you are. And I'm assuming that's because they are too slow. Maybe they are too slow. Maybe they'll run out of food or something along those lines. And as a result, they basically just go, yeah, I'm not going to go over there. They may just refuse to do that. At least that's what it seems like. I don't know. Anyway, I still don't see any tier 5. Any tier 5 thieves. Sorry. Ugh. Tier 6. Sorry, my bad. Yes, tier 6 thieves. I don't see any of those. So this is actually pretty crazy. Because obviously, if you think about it, it's crazy that we ourselves have a tier 6 and no one else does. And we are declaring war against the Harfit. Okay, yeah, sure. This guy has 11,000. We have 71,000 combat strength, if you can believe that. Yes, 71,000. That's pretty crazy. Alright, I'm spending quite a lot of influence on these guys right here, but this is very, very important. We need to maintain this army as much as possible. Let's see how many they have here. They have 1,900, almost 2,000. This may be quite difficult for us to deal with, but let's hope that we can do it. Obviously, here's the thing. If I take this, this is a massive area. I would say that this faction right here is probably the strongest in Azerite territory. So if we can eliminate them, and indeed, well, basically get them to join us, we will have just literally created, what, 10,000, 15,000 more combat strength for our own faction? I think that's probably it. Alright, so it is about time that we go in, and we're going to go in manually. And this is obviously something that I mostly reserve now for tier 5 and above towns, if we're actually going to be fighting anything that is tier 6. I wouldn't be surprised if one of these guys will make it to 2 million gold at some point. I mean, it's pretty obvious that they're going to make it, right? I mean, the towns are very, very prosperous most of the time, and they do give you quite a lot of cash, so kind of assuming that there will be some drama there at some point in the near future. So we've got Kareth right here, going to put him on one of these guys, and we're actually going to be taking a look here. Let me see. Maybe this one. This one is looking pretty good for a nice little hit with the catapult. I'm actually going to think about maybe that one. I don't think that one's going to really work out too well. The angle seems a little bit too difficult for someone like me. So let's just try it out and see what happens. Nice, there we go. We actually managed to land a hit against the amount of troops on the other side here. This was after about 3 misses, by the way. So let's have a look. Let's see if we can actually manage to hit them again. Nice, there it is. Okay, we found the sweet spot right here. Okay, fantastic. So let's see if we can actually get a couple more kills. Obviously, we've got a couple of fire catapults firing right now, and they're actually doing a relatively good job. As you can see, we're getting a couple of kills here and there. Let's see if we can... Yep, look at that. We're getting more and more kills. Obviously, the question is, can I get more? That's the thing. I don't actually know. Let's try a little bit further. Try to shoot a little bit further here, and we'll see what happens. Maybe we can make it work. Ooh, that was better. That was better. Nice. Okay, so I think we'll probably want to continue just firing here until we're out of ammunition. If we're actually going to get out of ammunition, it feels like we're going to be... I don't actually know. I mean, literally, look at that. It feels like we're going to be completely fine in regards to ammo for quite some time. I don't think... Are we? Yeah, we are actually running out, but we've got like, what? Another 10 shots or so? I think we should be completely fine with that. I am fine with that, at least. Let's see how many we've killed so far. We've only killed 41 personally. However, if we do this every single time, we're going to be having, well, we've got 116 kills. Like, in general, our forces have 116 kills total when it comes to our fire catapults, which is actually pretty decent, I would say. I wouldn't say that's terrible. Let me actually just move this forward a little bit. Once again, the power, maybe just a little bit more. I want to see whether maybe we can get more kills, because if we can get 7 per time, I'm happy with that. But okay, so that completely missed. Right, so that completely missed. So we will just lower it once again, just a little bit right there. That seems to be about the sweet spot. So we'll try that out, and we'll see if we can continue hitting there. Yep, there we go. Okay, yeah, we're continuing to hit there every single time, so that's absolutely fantastic. So I will continue bombarding them. I wish this guy would be a little bit quicker with his reloading. As you can see, we're actually murdering them 6 ways from Sunday. Very, very nicely indeed. And can this guy actually... Yeah, there we go. Okay, fantastic. Okay. Are we going to hit? Oh, we didn't hit this time. Okay, I'm going to assume that they've maybe moved. Maybe the opponent has moved. Let's see. No, we did hit a couple, but not very many. All right, so yeah, there you go. We did actually manage it. We did actually manage to kill 66 enemies with A fire catapult. I never actually would have said that in a million years I'd be able to do that. So thank you very much for the little tips and the little helpful pieces of info. I very much appreciate that. Thankfully, after a little bit of trial and error, I was able to get a couple of kills here. Because obviously, the previous Thief, we didn't have a particularly good time. Because it was... well, the enemies were basically out of view. We didn't have a particularly large amount of choice because we only had 2 fire catapults built at the time as well, and that obviously made a huge difference to what we were able to do, you know, what kinds of angles we had available to us. Anyway, let's just see if I'm able to do something here. They've got a very striking color combination here as well, because it's pink basically, so it's very unusual to see that. Actually, I feel like it's very unusual to see that in Bannerlord, because most of the time they just have very standardized things, but because of the amount of clans and the amount of factions that have to be created thanks to Chaos in Calradia, they have to use these unusual colors, which I very much appreciate. I think that's super fun to see that, because you don't, as I say, you don't usually see that. You just usually see very muted colors most of the time. So anyway, we are going to be completely fine here. We've just got to make sure that we can get through and hopefully attack from behind. That's going to be our greatest advantage here. Maybe I can get past and do that. Well, that was a pretty successful incursion right there, wasn't it? Yeah, I think that's pretty nice. All right. Yeah, we actually have 136 kills now. Surprisingly enough, this is kind of unheard of for this particular character. We don't usually get that many kills with this guy because he generally tends to... I think he generally tends to get killed relatively easily because I'm trying to do things that are a little bit more unique. You know, like opening up the gates, destroying battering rams and stuff like that. Yeah, that, you know, that sort of thing is always a little bit riskier and not as, well, not as rewarding if you fail, obviously, because you're dead. But yeah, that really does make a huge difference. Otherwise, I think we're going to be completely fine here because it looks as though we have pushed these guys back already very, very dramatically into the streets. And I'm thinking we're probably going to be... yeah, I've got to be a little bit careful here. I'm going to bring out my thrown weapons. Wow, we've got loads of... I've got 36 thrown weapons. Are you joking? That's insane. Okay, yeah, so we'll do a little bit, a couple of missile shots right here. Try to get some nice little headshots. Because obviously, the thing is, travel speed and stuff like that with thrown weapons is actually remarkably underrated. Because if you have travel speed, it basically turns it into like a laser-guided missile, pretty much, when you shoot at someone. Let me just be a bit careful here. I don't really want to die, if I am honest, but the problem is, sometimes it's not my choice. Nice little headshots here. I'm gonna die here in just a second. Pretty sure. Yeah, maybe. No. Maybe not. Okay. I'm actually kind of surprised about that. I thought I was gonna die because a load of people were aiming at us with thrown weapons. Okay, nice. I'd like to get to 250. I would love to get to 250 right here. That would get me impale. That would get me impale. I would love that. I have a bad feeling that we're probably not going to get it before I die. Oh, 249. 249. Okay, we might make it. Oh no, hello. I'm just gonna... Oh no, I shouldn't hide there. That's terrible. Yes, we made it! Alright, we made it to 250. That's all I care about. Even if I die now, that is it. That is fine. I am now the proud owner of Impale. I love impaling people. That's great. It's absolutely fantastic. I mean, you could call me Vlad, to be honest. You could call me Vlad, but that's not my name, so it's probably not going to work out too... Oh. I love those kinds of situations. It's so funny. The ragdolls are hilarious and absolutely amazing. Anyway, there you go. That is indeed a victory for us right there. We're actually losing huge amounts of troops, but it's okay because we have a significant amount more than the opponent. And as you can see, we are just running around the streets right now, absolutely dominating every single corner, with the exception of this area over here. And this was obviously where we weren't. So I'm assuming that that's the reason, you see. They're not having our assistance. Yes. Who would have expected that? Anyway, I'll just zoom forward here, and you can see that obviously because we are able to get in through the streets from this particular section, we might be able to swing around. Ooh, no, maybe not. As you can see, there is actually a lot of resistance in this particular section of the fief. And, well, I can only hope that our forces will decide to assist the other flank. And maybe we'll be okay there. But, I mean, it's pretty obvious we're going to be fine because, as you can see, look at the amount of kills. We've killed 1,600 of them so far. And there's only about 300 left. So it shouldn't be too bad at all, especially with the second, third, 12th wave that we've just sent at them or something. So, yeah, it should work out very, very nicely, as you can see. And that's it. Game over for the Mr. Azarai person consolidation faction, whoever they are. Yes. Yeah, because obviously they basically consolidated significant portions of Azarai territory by themselves and did a very, very good job at that. And now that we've taken this is insane, right? Because if we take a look at this, just look at what we're going to be having here in just a second. We've got 5 additional clans. 5 additional clans literally just joined us right now. Let's go and ransom all of these guys as well. Let's just do this. This is what's really, really cool as well, by the way, about fighting really high level opponents. You consistently have amazing prisoners for you to convert to your side. Really makes a huge difference. Okay, so there you go. Look at that. Another 8 skill points in roguery. Nothing really super hardcore to write home about there, but still decent. Not too bad. But what I am excited about is this. Oh yes, I am super, super excited about that. Generally, okay, look, weak spot is not bad, right? I would say that weak spot is very, very good if you are consistently fighting against opponents that don't have shields. Like, for example, some of the Azarai, most of the Azarai that we were fighting right there didn't actually have shields. Quite a few of them were just two-handed alone. So, weak spot against them would probably be fine. But this is another thing that I wanted to mention about thrown weapons, because this is a thing that happens almost all the time. When you're using thrown weapons, have you noticed, when I'm using thrown weapons right here in the previous siege, I kill most enemies in one hit. And that is not because I'm good or anything like that. That's just numbers. That's just the numbers. That's just the values that we have on our particular thrown weapons, because they are exceedingly good at what they do. Right? They have a high base value. And obviously I have a relatively decent amount of throwing skill. So that increases the damage even further. So that's the point. That's the reason why having armor penetration, this is mostly, in my opinion, for throwing axes. I think this would probably be very beneficial for throwing axes rather than javelins. Obviously, if you're using throwing axes, you never want to take Impale anyway, because that basically, yeah, that's just, I mean, that's pointless, isn't it? That is just absolutely pointless. Now, what I am going to do, though, is I'm going to go in here, and we're going to see if we can maybe find some Jarids. Because if we can find Jarids, I will be extremely, extremely pleased. We're getting Jagged Javelins, Horseman Javelins. Yeah, nothing super amazing, unfortunately. So we will be moving on from here. And I will go and take Kuyas. I think we'll go and take Kuyas. I'm not entirely sure if we have the ability to do that. Yeah, I think we do. I think we've got quite a few people still. So shouldn't be super bad. But yeah, as you can see right here, we have Jathia. I'm kind of hoping that she's going to come over here and actually help us out. Ah, House of Sanala and Bertild are now at war. Okay, well, that's this over here. So I guess I could just take that instead, but I kind of want to take Kuyaz. Basically, taking Kuyaz would be the better option here, because they do have Tubulis Castle under their command, whereas Sanala has basically, well, just that. I guess it could be kind of useful, but yeah, well, anyway, what we're going to do is we're actually going to call for the newly minted vassals that are nearby to us. We're just going to call them, and we're going to have them join us. And this is basically the reason why I think this is fantastic, because basically being able to call for the new vassals that you've just converted to your side and add them to your army makes me feel like the Borg, to be honest. That's what that's what it makes me feel like right now, because I'm basically just assimilating these people and basically being like, yes, join me. Your biological and technological distinctiveness will be added to our own. And, you know, all that wonderful stuff. Oh, now look at what we have here. We have an ally that has literally come to join us at Kuyaz. This is hilarious, because I was actually just about to go in manually, and they just, you know, they just popped up, and I was like, okay, Ultra Resolve it is. Ultra Resolve it is. They definitely wanted to do that. Thanks very much. Okay, so there's 543, or should we say 534? 43? Why did I say that? Anyway, the point is, we had a decent amount, you know, decent amount of casualties, but we don't need to worry about it. We don't literally need to worry about it at all, because we have now taken Kuyaz very, very nicely. And the main reason why I wanted to do that, by the way, is because I was actually running out of food, as you can see right here. I only have 2 days worth of food, which is quite funny. I was also kind of hoping to get my hands on some Jarids, but unfortunately I don't have any. I'm actually wondering, wait. Maybe I have some in my bag here and I just don't realize. Is that true? I'm looking. No, nothing. Okay, well, that's kind of sad, isn't it? Anyway, there you go. All right, so let's have a look here. Let's just get some morale, and we're going to have to go very quickly over to various villages here. And look at this. Look at what we've done. Look at that. We have swept across the entirety of the Azerai, and we have managed to take a significant amount of their territory. And it's only going to get better. As you can see, there we go. The House of Sanala and so on and so forth are now at war against each other, or at least that is what it says. Maybe it's not actually going to happen, but what I am going to do is I'm actually going to disband the army right now. Going to disband them and going to let them do whatever they want to do. And I'm just hopeful that they won't purchase all of my food here, because I'm going to need food pretty badly. 85. Wow, that's not really what I'm looking for right there. But yeah, anyway, this should be pretty much a done deal. I think Sanala should be pretty easy for us to capture. Obviously, it just very much depends on if the war declaration is actually going to go through, because sometimes it doesn't, like we've seen with the Botanians specifically. And I'm just going to continue running around the villages here and trying to do my best to maintain our own party, because if you end up losing what? I can't go in there. I can't go in to buy products from that particular village. Okay, that's kind of interesting. Yeah, anyway, if you can't do that, if you can't manage to maintain your morale, or shall we say in this case, maintain your food supplies, your morale is going to plummet very, very quickly, and then you're not going to be able to do anything. And it's going to be very, very problematic. So, yeah, okay, so there does seem to be the House of Sanala. They are actually attacking us. Okay. Yeah, so the question is, are we going to be able to do anything against them? Well, yeah, we will be able to. They're sallying out. Oh, wait a minute. House of Sonala. Oh, we're actually attacking them. Wow, okay, that's hilarious. They actually sallied out against them. That is fantastic. I love seeing the AI actually use strategies that they use against us all the time. I love seeing it being used against someone else for once. That's really nice. That is very, very satisfying. Okay. Anyway, that is going to be it for this episode. We have done this. Look at what we've done. Oh yeah, absolutely fantastic. Obviously, Sonala is going to fall. I will probably take that off screen, and then we're going to relocate for the next episode, and we're going to see where we go next. Because I'm thinking right now we're probably going to go to Maranath because this makes the most sense. As you can see, they have actually 3 towns under their control, which is pretty... That's pretty impressive, actually, all things considered. The one problem I'm having right now, though, is the Khuzait. I feel like we've left the Khuzait for far too long, and they're going to be insanely difficult for, for us to deal with. But I guess we'll see. I guess we'll see what happens. I thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.